Hello, and welcome back to Evolve with Dr. Laura Basha. It is July 2015, and I hope you are enjoying your summer wherever you are, wherever you're seeing this. First thing, I just wanted to share with you all that I have the Inward Outlook book that most of last year's conversations were focused on has been now translated into Spanish. And it is available through evox, and it's available through Amazon and also through the publisher Ex Libris. So if the Spanish version strikes a chord with you or looks like it might be useful for yourself or for someone you know, please go to Amazon or come to evox and order your copy. Thanks so much. So with the completion of the Spanish translation of the book, I really am complete with this particular project. There's ongoing publicity, there's ongoing use of the book, and certainly ongoing purchase of the book. But in terms of my own creative process and my own self-expression, there's another book that I'm interested in writing, and I've put quite a bit of energy into it over the last few years, and I'm going to be taking probably a step back this fall to actually write the text. This book will be a series of paintings of mine, each painting representing a symbolic image of what it means to be a human being, and archetypal images, and I'll be writing about those images to sort of supplement the visual of the image. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to doing that, and I'll be sharing that with you through this page on evox as it moves along. But right now what I wanted to do is take a couple minutes and talk about what I'm actually dealing with myself, and I think it might be useful to have this conversation with you since this is under the Fearlessly Free section of the page, and that is with it coming to a sort of a, I don't know, closing a chapter in a way, not completely, but certainly without having as much focus on it as I have previously over the last few decades. I'm going to be shifting my focus from, individual coaching and consulting to more of the arts and writing. And what I've been looking at is redesigning my website. And of course, I was assuming that I would keep the name Whitebird Rising and just redesign the website. But as I've been thinking about it, I'm thinking that maybe I want a new brand for this new phase of work and self-expression that I'm stepping into. And so not just a new design, but a new name for the website, a new name for my email, and my branding of how I want to be seen authentically in the world. And it's an interesting process because it's very confronting. There's the business side of me that's like, well, wait a minute, that's probably not a good idea because you have developed an identity and a brand over the last decade using Whitebird Rising, and it's going to be a major shift. So I've strategically worked out technologically how that can be handled so that people don't lose track of me, and people who've been following me can find me, and new people can find me. But in the inner process of really, who am I now authentically, and how do I want to be presenting myself, and what's really of interest and what's really contribution to people who might be viewing these videos, who might be reading my blogs, what's really a contribution for people, because we all are involved in our own lives. It's one thing to be listening and interacting and perhaps one-on-one working with a person where you actually get to engage with them about your issues and the stops you have and the places you have fears that you'd like to be freed up from. And so it's so actually tuning into someone else that you don't have that kind of relationship with, how much is that worth and how much time is that worth? So I'm looking at How much of your time is that worth? I'm looking at how can I continue to be relevant and continue to be authentically self-expressed and to continue to feel balance in my own life while I fulfill the desire really that I have to be a contribution to other people given all the years of work that I've done. You know, there's many people who are doing really great work. I am not in any way blinded to thinking that I'm the one. But I am realistic about my voice perhaps speaks to some people that I would never get to meet in such a way that it could bring them peace or bring them freedom or inspire them to some new way of their own authentic expression. So how can I best bring that to the table at this time in my life and at this stage in my life, and what is inspiring to me? So I just thought I would raise that inquiry, present it as an inquiry for you, and just because I would think that some of you, maybe all of you watching this, have some experience of this or have been considering this or even creating that identity that you want to have publicly known for some time. And I find for myself that if I'm willing to sit with the places that are really uncomfortable that I want to distract myself from, it's more, I'm very strongly intellectually focused, but these urgings are more an internal feeling state. And the more I can sit with that feeling state, which might feel anxious or it might feel intimidated or it might feel pressure, and sit with it long enough to hear what the message is. Because those feeling states are nonverbal messages wanting to come up to consciousness and be translated into cognitive, articulated words so that we have some kind of tangible access to it. So I'll just leave you with this. If you are in an inquiry with yourself of who am I authentically in terms of my public presentation? How do I want to be seen and how do I want to be known? And be willing to sit in the unknown of that, the inquiry of that, wondering about that, and noticing the different feelings, some of them excited, some of them uncomfortable. And the more you can sit with those feelings, the more those feelings will eventually translate into words for you. They might not translate at the time that you're sitting with them in the quietness of being with them. They might come to your thought process, come to mind when you're driving your car, when you're in the shower, when you're sort of, standing on the back deck looking at the view, listening to the birds. They could, the actual words, the insight could come at an unspecified time, but it will come. The insight and the words will come if we take the time to sit in the quietness and the discomfort of not knowing. Now, I say this to you, not like I got it handled. I just know that it works because I've practiced it in the laboratory of my life for many years. And yet, each new place that I grow into to hear something new, I am just as uncomfortable as you are. I'd have to take just as much focus as you do. I get just as antsy as you probably do, and I have all sorts of thoughts that go through my head about what great distractions I could be, involving myself with. Like, that refrigerator really does need to be cleaned out. That seems like a better idea than just sitting quietly in the unknown, listening for what the new words that will capture my authentic self-expression so that I can really be a contribution to you and to all the people in my world. So I wish you all the best. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time.